North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's famed private, characteristically green armored luxury train has by now become a symbol of the hermit nation's isolation and secrecy. He spent 20 hours traveling close to 1,200 kilometers on the slow-moving train. Reports say Kim Jong-un's train is so heavy that it is unable to go beyond 59 kilometers an hour. Now compare this to London's high-speed rail that runs at 200 kilometers an hour and Japan's Shinkansen bullet trains that can hit 320 kilometers an hour. It is said for Kim Jong-un, it is tradition. Reportedly, his father, Kim Jong-il, and his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, were both afraid of flying. South Korean media has earlier claimed that the fear was possibly triggered when Kim Jong-il and Kim Il-sung witnessed the explosion of their jet during a test flight. While Kim Il-sung flew to the Soviet Union after that incident in 1986, it was the last time a North Korean leader publicly traveled abroad by air for more than 3 decades. Experts say compared to the country's aging fleet of planes, bulletproof trains are a far safer and more comfortable space for a larger entourage, security guards, food and amenities, and a place to discuss agendas ahead of meetings. It's also believed that Kim Jong-un was a frequent flyer during his boarding school days in Switzerland, but since taking office in 2011, he has only occasionally opted to fly, including to Singapore in 2018 for his first meeting with the then US President Donald Trump. Many believe his preference for traveling by train could be to follow his family's tradition and show respect to his elders. The mysterious dark green train, which has 90 carriages, also features tinted windows to obscure the identities of those on board. For Kim's travel to Russia, the train, reports say, was well stocked with fresh lobster and cases of French Bordeaux and Burgundy red wines. The train has conference rooms, audience chambers and bedrooms with satellite phones and flat-screen televisions installed for briefings. Kim's train, the same one that was used by his father and grandfather, has 21 bulletproof carriages with plush leather sofas and conference rooms. Kim Jong-un possibly believes that the armored train provides more security and luxury than a flight. Reports also suggest that 2 separate trains travel with the main entourage. The one in front handles security checks to ensure the railway tracks are safe, and the one behind carries bodyguards and support personnel. One of the most detailed accounts of travel aboard a North Korean leader's train came from a Russian official who recounted a trip across Russia's Far East with Kim Jong-il in a book called Orient Express. Polikovsky's book described a gourmet menu with a wide variety of food on offer. As for the security arrangements, around 100 security agents are sent ahead to stations to sweep them for potential threats, while the power is turned off at stations to prevent other trains from moving. There's also a large logistical support group that includes Soviet-made Il-76 Air Force transport planes and Mi-17 helicopters. Nicknamed the Moving Fortress, Kim's current train has bulletproof windows and reinforced walls and floors to protect against explosives. South Korean government officials say the train is equipped with attack weapons and a helicopter for escape in case of emergency. Despite its slowness, the train has key advantages over an aircraft, chiefly offering more flexibility in unforeseen circumstances, including attacks. Security agents heavily guard these luxurious trains and scan the routes and stations ahead for bombs and other threats. The Kims reportedly have several identical special trains made by a factory in Pyongyang. While the pace of this train is slower than the average speed of the winner of the Tour de France bicycle race, as Bloomberg reported, it is much easier to eat lobster thermidor in a posh dining car than pedaling at breakneck speeds. Let's see what our guests have to say on this. Ambassador Sajjan Har, what is it? Fear of flying? Honoring tradition? Okay, I'm told Ambassador Sajjan Har is not with us, so let me put this question to Shri. Shri, what is it? Fear of flying? Honoring tradition? Or Kim just thinks that this is a much safer mode of transport compared to taking a flight? Or is it just the ease of enjoying French wine and lobster? Which of the above is it?
I think it's all of the above, Neha, because from the time he has been born, Kim Jong-un has not known poverty or even criticism or hard work the way that North Koreans are used to. So, which is what makes him such an unpredictable element in the China-Russia mix, which is why he's a volatile mix in this equation. Uh, so, you know, he's not a normal person. No one's ever pointed out his flaws to him. He's been made to believe that he's almost a god. He was born with extraordinary superhuman powers, and that has molded his personality, no doubt. And and if he has proved so difficult for even US to manage, it's largely because of that, because you really can't predict what he may do. I honestly don't think it's beyond him to actually you know point a ICBM at Japan or South Korea. He's quite capable of that. And in fact, last year when he fired one, it was almost very close to Japan. I mean, if it had been aimed a little lower, it would have probably landed in Japan. So he's a volatile element in the China-Russia mix. So this is just a manifestation of that. So this is a window to the man he is, and which is why I think the world needs to deal with him far more cautiously. So far, sanctions have not worked largely because China has helped him evade those sanctions. China has, 90% of North Korea's trade is with China. So China has helped North Korea beat the sanctions. I think we need a newer tack now going forward with him to de-escalate the situation in that part of the world, Neha.
Most certainly. Well, apart from the nuisance value that he carries, which we were referring to on the show earlier, I wonder if there is a more eccentric leader in the world today than Kim Jong-un.